66.7% of the time. I mean, that is crazy, crazy high. And out of the 33 picks we've had, he's had a 66% win rate, which means 22-11. And Dawnbreaker, she's all the way down in 73.7% contestation rate. So not even in the top 10. I don't even think she's in the top 20.
And what does Puck sit on that? I think
Puck
he's like he's like first and second is time. Oh, he's third. Okay.
Yeah, Monkey King's actually taken over from Puck as the second most contested, but they're exactly the same. So both 56 matches.
Oh, my bad. Honestly, rookie mistake by me. I should have known the alphabetical order when making that prediction. The Puck and the Tiny, giving both those up, though, is kind of insane, given that they both have crazy high win rates. And I did mention that I thought PSG.LGD would ban the one out to stop Aster moving too much tempo here, but they ended up letting that through. And Aster have actually yet to lose a game on this Puck yet. So I am incredibly concerned for PSG.LGD. And I was talking a lot of shit before this game started, Nomad. I said there was going to be a quick sweep for 2-0. With an opening like this, I'm not so sure anymore. I might have no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm already very worried because that cat has a lot of charm that I don't.
Yeah. The cat makes a solid point. It's concerning. The DPC prediction expert doesn't miss. Ricky, you've been brooding. What have you been thinking about how the players are looking? Have you been? Are you reading confidence in their faces?
A little bit. I think I've just been trying to analyze like what these bans are leaning towards, because Aster does remove like some pretty standard heroes here, but it's more a little bit of a confusion on the side of PSG.LGD. They get rid of Darkseer, Brewmaster, and now Lifestealer. So Lifestealer means that they're potentially wanting to run Dawnbreaker in the 3 as opposed to like a support in the 5, just because you have Monkey King banned already on the side of Aster. It kind of opens up Dawnbreaker to be a much stronger laning hero here. So LGD could obviously just move the Dawnbreaker there and then pick a support, but just still keep that flexibility open. Yeah, I think Aster, like, it's got to be Bo because Tiny, like, he has just shined on this hero so far in the DPC. He has been an absolute menace on this thing.
You don't think Success will play it?
I'm pretty sure it'll be Bobica. Like, he is just absolutely crushed on the hero this DPC. Like, he has been one of probably the best Tiny players in the world. So I would say you're probably like not. It's one of those things where like you're not like hurting by giving it to someone else, but it's like, why wouldn't you just give it to Bobica? And they still have the option to go for the Nyx Assassin, especially now that Ember Spirit's a pick, and you can just put it in the 5. And I would like to see that a lot.
It is surprising that PSG.LGD end up taking the Dawnbreaker, grabbing the Ember Spirit as well, and not banning out the Nyx Assassin in this last phase.
Yeah,
because they go into this knowing full well they plan on taking the Ember Spirit. So, Nomad, I want to hear your thoughts on this. We don't give you enough credit as an analyst on this panel,
you do.
But sometimes you do have useful things to say despite being British. Well, why do you think they've let Nyx Assassin through here in LGD?
Well, you see, whenever you do that thing when you're a kid, when you have like the magnifying glass and then you like magnify the sun's rays onto the bug and then it like cooks, you know.
You are a sick individual.
Yeah, the Ember Spirit and the Dawnbreaker already do that. That is basically their characters in a nutshell. So they're a natural counter, and they'll do the same thing to a Treant as well. They'll burn him up. Disclaimer, I've never done that. It's some sadistic kid stuff. I think a kid's a serial killer if it starts doing that, so keep an eye on it. But yeah, Treant coming out for Aster here. Gives him a bit more lockdown, and I love this combo.
Neff's laughing because he's done it. That's why Neff's laughing, right? He's laughing because he was that maniacal child with the magnifying glass running around torching the outside world.
He watches anime, of course he did.
Yeah.
This is a hostile panel. Ricky.
Yeah.
What do you think of this Treant Protector? They didn't go for the Nyx Assassin. Why? Give me a better answer than talking about burning bugs.
Yeah. So I was a little bit surprised on this. It does actually give you really, really, really good tower defense here. And I think that's really kind of important because neither Dawnbreaker or Ember particularly do a lot of building damage. Enchantress does. But I was going to say, LGD now need to compensate for this and pick a hero that can push to objectives and make it so that this Treant doesn't have the ability to stall out this game or like kind of keep their map alive on the side of Aster. So I like this pick a lot.
Do you prefer the draft of PSG.LGD so far then?
It depends on where the Visage goes, I think. That's the one thing that I'm a little bit unsure of, whether or not it's going to be in the safe lane or off lane. Like, I feel like they could run it both. I'm going to check and see if they've ran this before and where it was ran, but...
Well, while you do that, we do have a chance to touch on the fact that B-Cop said that he will not forgive you for saying that RNG would 2-0 LGD. You ended up being wrong.
2-0. I said, RNG. Yeah. I did say that. That is true.
Yeah, you did. You ended up being wrong, but B-Cop is going to be holding that against you forever, apparently. He couldn't be with us today, unfortunately. But he's here in spirit for all PSG.LGD games as an incredibly biased caster.
Yeah, that's why he's not here. They they were like, nah.
We had to take him off.
I did double check, and it looks like XXS has been the one that's played the Visage for the majority of Team Aster's time. So it's probably going to be the off lane Visage with the 4 Tiny, which is a really strong lane. Like, there's not a lot of safe lane heroes that you can pick into this that don't get punished pretty heavily. And it's really good at killing the Enchantress as well. So I actually really like this pick.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Out of the 2 support duos, I'm definitely leaning the way of Aster. Like, this is Tiny is obviously. I mean, Tiny's just ridiculous. We've seen him have such a good gameplay coming out from him. He's annoying, and he gets a blink dagger, and he just becomes broken. And then you've got the Treant as well, so he's going to delay the game. He's going to slow things down and stall the push if they do get on the back foot, and just generally be annoying as well. Also has some very strong timings, and LGD going for the Shaman. I mean, Shaman is a hero which I do think is underpicked a little bit. It does open up a ton of objectives for you, but yeah, I'm it's also us to the puck as well, right? With the Hex and the Shackle, but that can go both ways, right, Neff?
Yeah, Puck's main goal in these team fights is going to be jumping the Shaman on the back line, making it so Shaman isn't getting the jump on you. So the instant disable from Hex is very important for getting on Puck, but it is never going to be so simple. And a lot of time he's going to rush probably an early BKB or get a discount of reasonable timing in order to counter out the Shadow Shaman and make his game miserable. And usually he has these things completed by the time you get the money for your Blink Dagger. And again, they have 100% win rate on this hero. They have been super sick on this Puck. Aster have been on point with this.
There are no carries left.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of carries banned. All right,
that's a safe one.
Yeah, we're like picking things up out of like the bargain bin of carries. Like,
I was like, there's not a lot of illusion clearing left in the pool, and that makes sense. They actually instantly respond with the Naga Siren.
All right. I hope everyone's PC's been cleaned out recently and up to date, because this is going to be a tricky one with all these illusions going around. But it's going to be Naga and CK coming out as the final 2 picks. So both of them going for these illusion-based heroes. Who do you guys think has the edge here with these final pickups? And which way are you going to be leaning for this game number 1?
All you, Nap. You have to go first. I'm not letting you steal my answers.
You've never had a good answer in your life, as B-Cop, just messaged me to mention. But I'm going to have to say I prefer Aster. I talked so much shit at the beginning of this, saying that PSG.LGD would sweep them. It would be incredibly easy. I think that the heroes aren't good enough at pushing to make up, even with the Shadow Shaman, make up for the Treant Protector being able to stall things out. And I'm concerned about this Naga Siren pick. It has felt kind of underwhelming in a lot of games I've watched. I don't think it suits his patch very well. So I'm with Aster for this first game. I am a turncoat and a coward, and I'm going to be replaced by a cat.
At least you own it, Ricky.
Yeah, at least you're honest, Neff. You have that quality. I actually think in terms of Naga Siren games, this is a pretty decent one. Like Neff is correct that the hero has looked pretty weak overall, but this is a really good Naga Siren game. It's really good in the core matchup against CK. They really don't have a hero that can kill the Naga Siren. So I will say if this goes extremely late, PSG.LGD should win. But Aster is going to have a really strong time with the CK, and if they can capitalize on that, it should go Aster's way. So I'm going to go with Aster.
Interesting. I mean, I look at this draft and, comparing the cores and everything, I do agree. I feel like, I don't know. Actually, I feel like with the cores it's very even. Actually, with the cores, I can find myself finding reasons either team can win. It's very, very close in that regard. So for me, it does come down to the support duo, and Enchantress and Shaman, it doesn't really slice my cake, it doesn't really pepper my steaks, it's not quite there for me. Meanwhile, on the side of the Treant and the Tiny, that is just ticking every single box for me. That looks so good. We've seen it do well. They've played it 3 games already on Aster and have a 100% win rate with it. Very, very hard to go against, so I will be going Aster as well. It's 3 for 3. Let's get into the game. Ricky and Nev, take it away for game number 1, and I'll be throwing in some stats here and there as well.
I always appreciate the stats man that joins us in the middle of the games. Those are always very useful and neat.
Yeah. You notice how he said pepper my steak? He said this because he's a British person and the only spice he knows of is pepper.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you consider mayonnaise spicy enough?
I know you do as an American.
Oh my god. It is part of the American culture, right? Yeah. Spicy mayo. They call that Chipotle sometimes, but it's whatever. Fight at the top rune, potentially. There's going to be the Castable coming out under the Enchantress, but she gets the heal off, so she's going to be fine. Toss back under the tower. Faith Beyond. Not really wants to be, but it's Dawnbreaker, man. This hero's tanky. It's going to be 4 runes, potentially 3 runes for the side of PSG.LGD as Monet will grab the top one.
Yeah. Either way, a solid start for PSG.LGD. You're not going to kill a Dawnbreaker by tossing it to the tower, not when you've already used your stuns, like you mentioned. Incredibly tanky. This isn't great for Enchantress, though. Having to go the first point of Nature's Attendance, yes, you'll trade favorably with people, but this is a 140 mana cost spell. You'd much rather have Impetus or Enchant to be able to harass people with like your right-click bonus pure damage or creeps with bonus damage. So,
yeah.
In this instance, lane is going to be a lot harder down here, and we are concerned about the strength of the Tiny and Visage lane to begin with.
So Naga Siren is just impossible for Visage to play against. You're seeing it right now, like this hero has 1 armor and is just taking so much damage from the illusions, and then even when you get Gravekeeper's Cloak later on, you just still run the illusions at him, just chew through those charges, and Visage becomes pretty vulnerable. So it is something they're going to be pretty aware of here on XXS. They do have a lot of burst potential between the Tiny Visage combo, like at level 3. So that's definitely what they're going to be playing for, I believe. Mid lane, though, Ori versus Nothing to Say. The Puck versus the Ember Spirit. How do you feel about this?
How do I feel about this? I mean, I was just talking to people about this one the other day. I mean, I think it's Puck favored to begin with, but once you have a couple points in the Sleight of Fist, you just spam that around the Puck. He's never really able to dodge that with Phase Shift as long as you don't try to target the creeps at the same time. It just comes out too quick for you to be able to dodge. So it starts to favor the Ember Spirit. You get zoned out of lane. You don't have enough heal to keep up with it. But again, you need a couple points for the cooldown to lower and the Sleight of Fist for it to really start going his way. Until then, Ori's going to be just fine.
I feel like we haven't seen a CK in so long.
Yeah. It has been a while. They ended up nerfing the lifesteal of that Chaos Strike. They reduced the damage of his Chaos Bolt, and what they did one other thing to him, maybe? Or am I crazy?
It was mostly just reduce the lifesteal percentage on Chaos Strike, and then the Chaos Bolt's damage was rescaled at level 1, basically, because it was ridiculously strong.
They nerfed the shard too, right? I think the cast range on it or something?
Maybe, but yeah, probably. I don't think that was like the biggest
the
change,
issue is they keep updating this game.
No, that's not the issue.
Yeah,
right, that is not the issue. That was a joke, Valve. It was satire. Please continue.
Please don't take it seriously. Ignore this man
for
his incoherent ramblings.
For a little glimpse into CK, in the opening couple of days of the DPC, his ban rate was around 80%. So the hero's getting banned out like most of the time, and now it's kind of varies from an average of like 15% over the past week.
So that was, I think, mostly because week 1 of the DPC was still the old patch, and that's when CK was like the uncontested best carry option because you could play safe lane or off lane, and he won every lane. And then as soon as that patch came out, people kind of realized, all right, this hero is a lot worse now, and that makes sense. Yeah, he was way too strong in that last patch. That was ridiculous.
Yep, and people have been doing that same flexible thing, though, in this patch, except instead of flexing the 1 and the 3, they switched around to be like the 3 and the 4 with the Tiny and the Dawnbreaker picks, at least here in the Chinese region, is very prevalent.
Or the Pudge, being a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 1 if you're good enough. But,
right.
Not everyone can be good at Pudge.
Yeah, speaking of insane ramblings, thank you, Ricky, for that. So what you were talking about down in the bottom lane is happening right now. XSS is just getting run down by these Naga Siren illusions. His Gravekeeper's cloak is struggling to keep up with the amount of harass that Ame is putting into him here. Always getting run down in mid lane.
Yeah.
Sick toss there.
Ooh. He's gonna be able to stay like, dude, 1 large tower? No, he's gonna live. He had 11 wand charges anyway.
Yeah, man did the math. Innocence is just built differently. He's built like a mathematician.
So I'm actually watching this bottom lane. I guess illusions don't break Gravekeeper's cloak.
It is damage that goes over 50, I believe. Otherwise, the damage
Minimum
is
is
not
40. Has to be 40. Damage.
Okay, my bad. It's 40.
So maybe the Riptide's not doing enough damage yet. Oh, the Riptide's exactly 40.
Yep. So when it procs
Yeah.
Riptide, it'll lower
Level
it.
1, it's not actually hitting it because its magic resistance will prevent it from. Will make it do slightly less than 40, which is actually ideal. So it's not actually doing anything. It's not blocking the damage. It's just taking the full numbers.
It was interesting. Back in the day, Marching Machines would just like go through it, do full damage to Visage.
Yeah.
That ability has not existed for a long time now, though.
Top lane? Oh, never mind. I don't know. I thought there was something interesting happening there, but turns out not really. Zinq is just doing a little life exchange there with the shackles.
Yep. And Innocence is making Ori's game even more miserable than it already was. We talked about him getting zoned out of lane before. He's getting pushed super far back now. Nothing to say. Almost has... well, he's got 3 points of Sleight of Fist already. He's got complete rune control here.
Dude, he is so far ahead in XP, actually.
Yep. And
He's
this is just
a
going to
full
be the
level
case.
ahead.
Yeah. And again, we talked about this. Even with like living armor being dropped onto the puck every so often, the bonus armor you get from this one is not going to be enough, and you don't have 100% uptime on this, given that the living armor is only level 1.
Dude, this is all because of the Naga Siren. Like, realistically, like, Waya's been able to just sit mid and just camp his lane. They've even brought Jin Q up here. They just instantly deward him. They get a shackle on over to Train Protector. He's not going to be in any like kill threat really, so that's fine. But the Naga Siren's literally playing 2v1 in this bottom lane and winning. And she's higher level. She's level. Oh my god! This game is actually becoming such an issue for Aster just in the lanes.
Yeah, and I don't think it gets any easier, Danny, for XSS either. He's going to dove underneath the tower right now and take a lot of damage. I don't think he'll die, but again, he is not having a fun time. Mid lane, they're super committed onto this tower. They want to like get as much damage into this one with the catapult as possible. They've got the Hellbear Smasher with level 2 enchant on it as well. I think they'll... Alright, they're going to try to go for another.
Oh, there's the coil toss, the snap, but I mean, he's so healthy. Nothing to say. He's fine. They're going to instead just take down Bo because First Blood will go the way of the Ember Spirit. And the catapult is still healthy and alive, ticking away at this mid tower. They will finally clear up this creep wave. But why? He's going to just tank it. Wrap around. Hex into the shackle. Dawnbreaker joins the fray. A double kill now for nothing to say as they'll look for the treant. And that is going to be 3 heroes dead. The mid-tier 1 tower about to fall. Bobico with an avalanche toss trying to clear out the way, but no chance at all. And off of this rotation, PSG.LGD are going to snowball.
Yep. A momentary lapse of judgment there by Ori. I mean, he's spamming out the wave. He wants to be able to clear out these creeps and make it so he doesn't lose his mid-tier 1 tower, but he runs out of mana. And, you know, they notice that on PSG.LGD, and immediately they go on him. They punish it. He can't Waning Rift away. He can't Illusory Orb away. So Shadow Shaman is just able to walk at him. They follow up with a Dawnbreaker, who just recently hit level 6. Perfectly played. 2k net worth advantage now here on PSG.LGD. I mentioned they were bringing the fire. I was concerned about Aster's lanes, but... You know, given that you make your first rotation with a 5-minute catapult, you take the mid-tier 1, and you're playing against a Treant Protector. This is the best start possible for them, man.
Yeah, they're actually looking to try and punish the Naga Siren in the bottom lane. They are going to get the Avalanche, the toss, the first drop of the Familiar, and the second, but can they actually finish him off? He doesn't have Song of the Siren, but Jin Q's rotation in makes sure that they will not be able to get that kill in. They're going to try and keep this tower alive, but look, it's 4 heroes once again, PSG.LG in this bottom lane. They really just want to take towers. They do not want this Treant Protector to exist.
Yep. They're not going to be able to, though. They don't have a capital down here, and they're not level 6 on Xin Q. We're still another minute and 15 seconds away from the tome being available as well. Once they have that, they'll be able to actually take these towers down. But at the moment, when you're fighting these familiars, there's just no way. He'll be able to successfully defend this one. I am a little bit concerned about...
I don't know, man.
They're coming in force. You have to stop this. Certainly you can't take this tower. There's no way.
They have no one here that can do anything.
Puck could come in. He's got Town Portal Scroll available. He's got Dream
They're going
Coil
to just
available.
go ahead and try and chase Bovica. Maybe XXS. He's trying to do what damage he can to the Enchantress, but the tower's just gone. That's 2 dead now at the 9-minute mark for the side of Aster.
Or he makes the choice not to commit to that. He feels like he's not going to be able to kill anybody. He's worried about dying again. I am shocked that they got away with that. This was supposed to be like a winning lane down here. You're tiny in your Visage. We talked this one up. Your Visage familiars are incredibly strong, but against a high armor hero like Naga Siren, I guess they're just afraid to try to fight into this.
Neff,
Your game is falling apart right now.
My cat knew they were going to take that tower, so...
Oh, this is...
Another L, Neff.
What is it? A cat 3, Neff 0 at the moment? Yeah,
hopefully
really
tiring.
Unfortunately, there's not one that close to me. I might have to go for like Burger King or something like that. We'll see.
Did just want to point out, I mean, I'm annoyed actually because that play with the coil toss in the middle lane from the Puck and the Tiny went so terribly. I was ready to jump in.
This isn't going to go any better.
Because Puck and Tiny have like the highest amount of matches together. They also have an amazing win rate of 62% across all regions and divisions, which is very, very good. But it didn't work out well, so I can't say that stat because it would be out of context.
Yeah, I mean, Aster alone, they're what?
Oh my god.
5-1 on the Tiny. Faith Beyond, they end up getting the Treant Protector as well.
They're going to go ahead and take down the Shadow Shaman here, so they get themselves their first kill, and this will protect the tower. They are not willing to give this one up quite yet. Ori rotating on the backside. Nice root there. Actually catching the Enchantress. A little bit unlucky. The creep RNG just saying, hello. Well, we'll come out onto the Dawnbreaker. Gonna try and do what damage he can, but a nice drop there on the Familiars, and they'll be able to take down third. Now nothing to say, forced to back out. Gets a quick sleight of fist kill there onto the Visage.
A man just melted the damage from the sleight of fist. I mean, Aura Corrosion alone ends up tearing through you if you don't have any Gravekeeper Cloak stacks up. I'm doing like 215 physical damage, huge coming out from him. But at this point, you know, they just walk right back up here again. Shadow Shaman, he ended up dying before he popped his Tony. He's only level 5. I think he just drops these Serpent Wards on the tower.
Yeah.
As soon as he sees the living armor coming out, they fortify for this one as well. I would be very surprised if they don't do this. But again, the cat is a better analyst than me. So maybe the cat would say, yeah, they choose not to drop the Massive Serpent Wards. They already committed the Dream Coil, so they're not going to be able to...
Oh, Puck's coming in. Silence comes out. They do end up getting one kill. The Hex turn around onto the Puck. The Shackle plus the Dawnbreaker joining the fight. The question is, can Ori stay alive? He will. XXS is here, but he's stuck in the wards. He needs help and fast, but he's not going to get it. Just burns down to Faith Beyond. And now nothing to say on the backside of the fight. He does have one Remnant still to play with. Searing Chains holding him in place. Tries to cut out with the Silence, but it's not going to be enough. And now... we'll grab the Treant Protector as well. Faith Beyond on the Dawnbreaker, doing so much damage now. And all the while, free farm for Ame on this Naga Siren.
They need so much more than what they're getting right now. Naga Siren is forced to walk away right now. Doesn't have Song of the Siren at the moment. Doesn't have any points for this either. But again, too much armor for the Chaos Knight to be able to take down. Like you mentioned, farming up all this is going down. All 3 heroes at the top of the net worth chart, all on the side of PSG.LGD. Ame, like, we could say he's not really contributing to the game. He's 0-0-0, but he shut down Visage. He managed to take the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Like, this is early game Naga Siren making an impact, despite the fact that we don't see it on the scoreboard. Chaos Knight was forced to run away and couldn't engage with the Naga Siren right now either. The issues that I had with this hero are not here.
Avalanche top lane. I mean... you just drop the Coil, Avalanche, Toss combo, and you get nothing. You don't even get Y on the Enchantress. It's all used defensively there to try and just disengage.
It looks like they're keeping up the pressure. They're probably trying to like take control of this area of the jungle, move back in the Rosh pit, and then take Roshan with the next set of Mass Serpent Wards down 40 seconds from now. Then off of that, just continue to run into the enemy team's base and snowball. Nothing to say is going for first item BKB. They're not going to slow down at all. They smoke up. Looks like they want to be able to find a kill before they go for this Rosh attempt.
If they get a kill, it'd be huge. Like Ori here in the mid lane, he might walk into. There's a slight chains, but Avalanche comes out from Bobica. Looks like he's going to be the sacrifice for his team. The shackles come through. But on the backside, Faithbeyond's also caught Treant Protector. He's forced to drop the Overgrowth to try and disengage. There goes your Tiny. In bottom lane, there's still an Invis rune. And with that, you're going to have Shaman Wards. You could just take the Roshan, and Jin Q, he double backs.
It's looking like it. I mean, they commit Overgrowth there just to be able to get disengaged. So the only tool for being able to take a fight into Roshan is all of a sudden gone. They scan it out. It doesn't end up connecting with anyone. Okay, it does towards the tail end of this. But yeah, getting into here. It's made even better by the Skeleton Warriors. Everything to have the rally bonus as well. It's a small thing, but it's bonus damage for everybody. But yeah, free Roshan with this one. They're going to try to fight this.
Know.
Again, no Overgrowth.
Yeah, they have to know that this is happening. You are correct. No Overgrowth. Monet, he's on the front side here. Who are they going to find? Nothing to say is Invis. They don't know where he's. But he actually walks under a sentry. Avalanche comes through, but a nice coil as well. Can they finish him off? The Fury Hero silent from Ori, but a Song of the Siren, the reset here from Ame. This is the scary situation for Aster. Can they get themselves into Monet? He catches the amateur on the backside, but he's able to get away. For the moment, you've lost your puck. And then the question is, like, can they actually get out now? The Roshan falls. Nothing to say, picks it up. And they're just on full retreat mode here. Ember comes in, slight chains. He's caught the Chaos Knight. The Bolt comes through to stun him. He can't armlet toggle through this damage, and he's going to fall as well. XXS now trying to hobble away on the Visage. There's going to be the ensnare from that Naga Siren. The shackles to follow. A mega kill. The game is falling apart for Aster here. As Treant Protector hiding in the trees, just inevitable that he is going to join the rest of his team.
Yeah, thinks about dropping the Overgrowth and all of a sudden stops, realizes one of the main reasons they weren't able to take that fight is they didn't have the Overgrowth previously. Wasted as the Dawnbreaker was running at him. Aster, they're slipping. I mean, perfect bite reset there by the Naga side. All the meanwhile, the wards are continuing to finish off the Roshan. In the middle of that team fight, they take the Roshan and Ember Spirit ends up picking up that Aegis. This is just perfect gameplay. And we talked about this at the beginning. PSG.LGD, they clearly want to make a point to Aster here. They are putting them in the ground.
I'm not sure if you've caught Faithbeyond's build this game, but he actually went 1-4-4 on the Dawnbreaker and rushed Desolator. No BKB, just Phase Boot, Soul Ring, Deso.
This is, I think, not incredibly uncommon for the Dawnbreaker.
I mean, a lot of people go the Deso like second item,
BKB and whatnot.
Yeah, but the interesting thing was like the 1-4-4. I think he's the first person I've seen actually max Luminosity. Bottom lane, they've caught Puck. Faithbeyond. Oh my god, the physical damage there from that Deso and that Sleight of Fist, unreal.
Yep, I mean, that's the thing, right? You've got 3 sources of anti-armor with the Orb of Corrosion, the Riptide, and then the Desolator as well, resulting in, I think, minus 17.
No. I need to interrupt you. Do you not see what just happened?
Go ahead.
That Puck dug up a bounty rune before he died.
Oh,
didn't grab the bounty, and then Faithbeyond grabbed it. That needs to be talked about.
Dude, he's mentally done, dude. He's mentally done. No one can recover from that.
I'm not sure if you guys caught top lane here, but Monet tried to make a play onto the Naga Siren, instantly regrets his decision as the song comes through. They managed to actually turn around onto Jinkyu. Monet not be able to keep himself alive, has nothing to say. He's going to burn him down. So a 1-for-1, but potentially worse here as Puck now been caught by the Naga Siren. The ensnare is there. No BKB on the Ember Spirit, but he still has an Aegis.
I really like this Naga build with the Orchid. This thing feels so much better than it used to because now it just gives you like flat attack, speed damage, mana regen. Like it is super valuable in like non-int heroes. All of a sudden, somebody like Naga-san is just gonna be spamming mirror image off of cooldown or to maximize their farming against Puck as well. It's so good, man.
Oh, Avalanche, the toss. They've caught the Dawnbreaker. They try to send her towards the mid tower. The drop from the Familiars. Faithbeyond. A big kill if they can actually get it, but he's just being healed up so much by Y. The Crow comes out. Do they finally bring him down? They do a 1-for-1 trade. You get the Tiny to the free summon on the Familiars. Will be able to keep Ori alive. They will also get a second kill there onto the Shaman. Nothing to say here. Still rocking that Aegis. He's very tanky as well. It's a 2 for 2. Technically, a very good trade for Aster, but it's just not enough, it feels like, at this stage.
No. I mean, he managed to grab the enemy team off of it, but the Shadow Shaman really doesn't count for that much. The only reason you end up winning that team fight anyways because Naga Siren didn't have enough mana, regardless of the Orchid that he has, and Ember Spear was pretty low himself, so not able to spam out spells and keep up the chase. But now they're back up to full. His BKB is just about off a cooldown. He's looking for Ori. Leave him alone. Let him farm some creeps.
Sometimes you just find a regen rune, you know? You just come right back.
I hate to see it. Aster fans are having the worst day right now.
Oh, they're about to have a worse one. Oh, XXS able to get away for the moment. Drops that Wraith Pact, but just so much damage from Faith Beyond. And now Bobaka on the backside, caught from the ensnare, able to get away. They've committed the Overgrowth as well to try and disengage. Nothing to say is BKB not really going to get put to good use here.
Yeah, but XXS dead again, and I do just want to point out, you know, this guy statistically is the lowest death player and the best KDA player in the China DPC. So the fact that LGD are shutting him down so damn hard should give you a really good idea on how well this is going for LGD.
I guess the only thing XXS is his farm. That's short for extra small.
Oh, nice. Good one.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised the American didn't get that.
Beautiful. They're not letting them put off the gas here on PSG.LGD. They're not going for heart on Nagasai. Once this is completed, I just don't think they have the damage to kill Ame. I think that they're just done. I mean, they're already pretty done. Your Treant Protector hasn't really stopped any towers from being taken. Like, you're doing your best. You're healing up the top at the moment, but ZenQ's already up here pushing incredibly aggressively. You have absolutely no map control. Network advantage just goes further and further in favor of PSG.LGD. They have never lit up. Only now here, 20 minutes in the game, does Puck end up completing his Blink Dagger.
And you still don't have it on your Tiny either. And he's still pretty far away. He needs another 600 gold almost on the Tiny. And like normally Bobaka right now would have like Blink like 17, 18 minutes usually on this hero.
God, you need so many things to go right. So they're working on a Blink Dagger on... Oh no, he's never going to finish his Blink Dagger on the Treant Protector.
Yeah.
Jumped on by ZenQ with his blink, and now they go for this tower. No wards necessary. This Desolator is going to help them tear through the tower even quicker. Hell, they might even save it. Yeah, it picks up the Tome now on ZenQ. He's got level 2 Mass Serpent wards. They just committed the Fortify as well up here. I think that they just like walk high ground and drop Mass Serpent wards on this tier 3 tower. It looks like that's what they want to do.
They definitely can. They've got the Deso. They have BKB available on the Ember. Faith Beyond, his Blink Dagger is being delivered at
Frost
the
armor
exact
for
moment.
everyone. Ice armor, sorry.
Yeah, ice armor. So I'm not sure if you know, Faith Beyond just went the Blink Deso build and is going to rely on Starbreaker magic immunity. So if he sees one of these supports on the backside, he just blinks, drops a Starbreaker, and there's no stopping it at that point. You just die.
Yeah. Right. All 3 lanes being pushed in right now. Right. Well, sorry, 2 of the lanes being pushed in by the Naga Siren.
Tiny finally picks up his Blink Dagger at the same time Naga Siren picks up a heart, by the way. 22 minutes in, and I mean, the average for Tiny getting a Blink Dagger is about 17 minutes on position 4. So, yeah, he's a little bit delayed. And I'm just going to check if this Naga is breaking any records on this heart timing at 22 minutes, because that seems absolutely ridiculous.
You might have to stop you real quick. You just finished your BKB on the Chaos Knight. Dude, the smoke is interrupted by Innocence.
Yeah, Faith Beyond actually goes in super aggressive. He is super dead, and now Overgrowth caught nothing to say. He's able to just get on out of that Overgrowth, though. Question is, can they get more? They've held this Chaos Knight down in place. His BKB is expired, and now Ame finally deciding to join the fight. The question is, can they find more? Tiny shackled up on the side. Monet still able to keep himself alive. Bobaka, he's got a little bit to work with. Another ensnare comes through, but the Naga Siren's deciding to back on out. They don't want to risk dying up on the Aster high ground.
That's an Ori buyback,
Looking
though.
for why.
It
was, yeah.
They cannot afford to do this right now. If this takes too long as well, like Dawnbreaker's back up. This is like his pseudo Spectre. You can just drop a Solar Guard and get back in this team fight. That looks like that's what they want to do.
Yeah, there's a shackle right into Faith Beyond, and Ori's gonna die back. You lose a Tiny at the same time. Treant Protector goes down, all for a ward. And now Visage drops into stone form.
They got to.
But what can you do? You are alone, surrounded by the heroes here on LGD. 4 dead on the side of Aster as they go to the high ground. And Jinq? Yeah, they just call the GG. They are ready to go for game number 2.
PSG.LGD, they were not kidding around. To the moment, you had a glimpse of hope. The BKBs completed Blink Dagger into being completed on 2 heroes as well. You take a single fight, you kill the position 3, but that's it. It's like the only win they got this entire game.
Where's Ame? Where are his feet? That's what we need to know. Is he playing with his feet? Well, considering he's drinking with his hands, it would make sense. But yeah, Ame saying in the post-game interview after the regional finals that he could beat LGD. That he could beat Aster with his feet. This game certainly proved that maybe he wasn't joking around. This was an absolute smackdown from PSG.LGD as they destroy Aster in the first game and bring themselves 1 game closer to that possible tiebreaker for the major place. But yeah, man, I mean, firstly for me, like, I'm sorry, Enchantress. Public apology to Enchantress time, because this hero is good. You know, this hero does work. I think the Shaman, you know, once they were ahead, the Shaman looked really good, but the hero which helped them get to the point where they were that far ahead was absolutely Enchantress. Like, pair with a strong laner and someone who can make use of her, like, kind of creeps, and you've got yourself ahead of the lane, and then she just roams around the map like those trolls as well, doing so much work with the rally. Super
You know the craziest thing about that? Yeah. The craziest thing is he ended up starting Nature's Attendance. This was like a bad beginning to the ended up getting ganked to the rune from the first point into it, but then ended up doing so well in the lane. Ame and Innocence did so well in the lane. The Enchantress just left. And then Ame was playing a 2v1 in the bottom lane. Zoned XSS was diving underneath the tower with the illusions. It was incredibly one-sided. And this wasn't like your baby Nagasaki, please support, help me, I cannot get farm, I want to get last hits, Peter situation. This is Ame manning up and just running these heroes down.
Yeah, most carries, you know, they're a bit slow to leave the nest, but Ame is like, you know, he turns 10 and he's like, right, Mom, Dad, I'm done. I'm moving out. You know, I'm breaking it for myself. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Independent.
I'm 12. It's time for me to make something of myself and go out alone in the world.
I'm cutting you off. Absolutely. I mean, Ricky, highlights for that series for you from LGD before we start dunking on Aster.
I mean, it was just the perfect Naga Siren game. Like I said, there was no way to stop this hero. I didn't realize it was this bad as a matchup for the Visage. Otherwise, I probably would have had a different prediction. Like, this is just not a hero I see very often. But like, this as soon as I saw this lane going the way it was, there was pretty much nothing Aster could do in this game. It absolutely crushed their ability to play, their timings.
Absolutely, yeah. Did not work out for them at all on the side of Aster. And like, you know, the CK final pick was nice, but at the same time, you know, it didn't really have the same kind of lane. I feel like you're playing against the Dawnbreaker, you know, you need to pick something which can kind of answer that. And if you go melee versus melee on Dawn, it always feels like you're giving her that opportunity to set up on you. And I think that's what happened, you know. He actually didn't have a super bad game on it. Money was about the only one doing okay. But even then, like, you know, you're playing it into a pretty rough matchup, I would say. Especially someone like CK, you know. Like, to me, CK, Ursa, these heroes which, when they're in, they hard commit to fights. Those are the ones that feel pretty bad, like probably the worst against the Dawnbreaker because of that ultimate. Do you agree, Neff? Is that on the ball?
Yeah. And I think it's very clear that this is what they wanted to go for in PSG.LGD as well, because the main thing they were concerned about, the first ban they took out, the first pick that they did was the Dawnbreaker, but they got rid of the Winter Wyvern. So they wanted to force a situation where if you're in, you're not going to be able to reset, but we can because we have Naga Siren. Things are always going to go our way. We value this Dawnbreaker quite a bit, and you know, obviously we see why. Shut down that CK like crazy. He never stood a chance into this game. 11-3-7. Sick performance out of Faith Beyond on this one.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, Chaos Knight's matchup in a Naga Siren is absolutely unplayable. Like you don't have any opportunity to win that going late. Like you don't farm as fast, you don't do nearly as much damage, you're not as tanky. Chaos Knight's definitely like that mid game tempo hero, and he never even reached mid game. Like that is how bad Aster lost in the early game. Like mid game never existed for them. But yeah, I would agree. If you're gonna allow them to take Dawnbreaker to the 3, you've got to pick a hero that punishes it a little bit more. And I worry that this just wasn't it. Like the Chaos Knight did feel a little bit weak into the lane. It feels like maybe this was a little bit of a comfort pick for Monet in terms of going back to something we saw last patch instead of going for something, maybe a little bit.
Weren't a lot of carries left was something we discussed during the draft as well.
There weren't, but you still could have gone for something else. Like Weaver was available, Sniper was available, like these different types of heroes that are a little bit more like play from range and offer like a little bit more kill threat. Like Sniper going for Shrapnel is actually really, really difficult to deal with, especially with like a Treant, but I don't know. I felt like there was some other options. They just, like I said, maybe went for something that was a little bit more comfort pick from last series or from
That's
last.
Cute hurricaning the Dawnbreaker there to get him a little bit further forward. That's very cute. This is one fight where things went horribly wrong for them. It was set up so well. You committed the overgrowth a little bit before that. I don't think they ever stood a chance. They reset the fight as they're trying to come in. Nothing to say, realize, okay, I spam Sleight of Fist. I'll go back to Roshan, finish this one off. Net comes out from the Naga Siren, stops Ori from being able to jaunt away after that reset came out with the song, and they just chase these heroes down. I think a single mistake there from Treant Protector, committing that overgrowth pre-Roche fight, as you can tell PSG.LGD wanted to start setting up around that. That's when their game ended, in my opinion.
Yeah, he just ulted to try and save himself, It's early game, your death timer is so low, that they're trying to get every single objective they can as quickly as possible. I don't think you get away with that, and LGD certainly did not let him, and that was another small issue, which kind of just built the pyre which Aster burned upon this game.
And you can tell that he learned, because right there he had it, and he's canceled last second. He's like, wait, I don't want to do this again. Sorry.
No, definitely. Yeah. So someone put his hand on his shoulder and was like, brother, it's not the time.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know better than this.
Yeah. One more thing to mention about Aster as well, by the way, is that every single win they've had has been a 2-0. So they're yet to win a series where they lost a game. The only one of their series has gone 2-1, and I believe that was versus Vici Gaming, where Vici did turn it around upon them and claim the 2-1 eventually. But yeah, this team's not used to losing, that's for sure.
Definitely not on the puck or this Tiny either. Again, they've only lost a single game with the Tiny. They hadn't lost anything with the puck prior to this game, and they got to open with both of these heroes. So I imagine that they're, at the very least, a little bit shaken by what LGD just did to them.
Yeah.
Taking their towers early when they had a Treant Protector. MVP ends up going the way of innocence here. Would you agree with that one? Only one kill. Kind of sad. What do you think, Ricky?
I think a lot of his rotations, like for instance, the only reason they get mid tower is because of the Enchantress. But I actually think the only reason the Enchantress is able to rotate mid is because of Ame's Naga Siren performance. Personally, like if he is struggling in the lane, Innocence can't leave. Like he has to be bottom to try and bully, and then they don't get that mid tier 1 tower, which doesn't turn into an easy tier 1 bottom. So like, I don't know. It seems like it was definitely like a team play, but the Enchantress does enable them to take the towers early.
Let's see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the hero I highlighted when he came back into the panel, right? I was like, man, you know what? I was wrong about these support duos. This Enchantress is the GOAT. Well, she's a deer, really. But either way, she owned this game. And LGD certainly reap the benefits of that coming straight off. I mean, if there's ever a hero you want to be roaming around as a position 5, if you can leave a carry to yourself, it's definitely an Enchantress, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you can do so much on this hero. It's so good at rotating and finding kills in other lanes. You can even like farm up the jungle if you have to. Enchant being an amazing tool for doing that. But we saw the Enchantress just like got to work right away, taking buildings. The Hellbear Smash over to the mid lane, managed to take that before they even had Serpent Wards available. They had the first catapult, and thanks to that Enchantress rotation, a large part thanks to that Enchantress rotation, they managed to get that mid tower against the Treant Protector. So maximizing the potential of this deer. And we can see why they ended up first picking that thing. Even though I was skeptical compared to the Tiny and Puck opening. It is crazy, man.
I really hope they don't ban out Pudge again, man. I really want to see them get their opportunity to play Pudge.
I'd love it as well. Last thing to mention about that last game as well as the Naga Siren with the Heart of Tarask. It was the fastest Heart of Tarask of the DPC, but not the fastest off the patch. But so pretty damn good still from Arme breaking some kind of records here as we move into the draft for the next game here. That's right, game number 2 is getting started right here, right now, as we move into the draft for this one. And we'll start things off with a Tiny being picked. No, not picked. I'm going crazy. That's a Monkey King coming out.
Tiny was already picked. Monkey King is now picked. He's blending in with his surroundings. You just don't see him. He's like part of the wall, and he has like a tree that's planted. Yeah, you just don't see him.
Damn. Master of camouflage. Nature is beautiful.
Impressive, honestly. It does really look like he's part of like the sculpture there. It could be like a tree in the background that he's carrying. But interesting change in their opening. They banned out Winter Wyvern first again on PSG.LGD, which makes me think that they probably wanted to go for this Dawnbreaker, but it looks like they recognize that on Aster as well, and they opted to just get rid of it on their end. And they get rid of the Warlock as well. This is something that PSG.LGD have been seeing more success with than a lot of other teams. I hate this hero as he doesn't set up a lot on his own. He's great at securing the lane and playing do-nothing heroes in the lane that they're carrying in the late game, like Spectre, Faces Void.
Oh, dang. Homie's got the same headphones as I do.
All right.
Does he?
Yeah. It's a good headset. Yeah.
It's crazy. You're similar MMR to him as well, right?
Roughly, yeah. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Plus minus like 5.
Right.
1,000.
What was I going on about before the headphones come in?
You just kind of stopped. I don't know where you were going after that.
I was going somewhere. Oh, the Dawnbreaker ban. It's very clear that they wanted to pick the Dawnbreaker again, but they ended up banning that one out. They picked Monkey King first on the side of Aster, regardless of the fact that Monkey King is seen as a counter to the Dawnbreaker by a lot of people. To ban that one out instead of just letting PSG.LGD take it and then grabbing the Monkey King in response to it. Do you like that one, Nomad?
Yeah, I mean, I like both these openings a lot, honestly. I think there's a lot of strength to be had here for both teams. Maybe I'm not super keen on the Razor. Razor versus Monkey is always a bit like, I'm going to sap your damage, but then Wukong's command and Boundless Strike comes down, and all of a sudden you're just getting smacked by a bunch of his stone soldiers. That doesn't feel so great, and I feel like Monkey can itemize around the Razor quite nicely, but overall, strong openings from both these teams.
Yeah, but if you had to choose, you'd probably say PSG.LGD.
No, I'd go Aster with this opening. I know. Last panel, we all jumped in together, like the friends on holiday jumping into the pool. We were like, "Yay, Aster! They're gonna win!" Holding hands and High School Musical moment. But we got handled. We did. It's okay.
Even your cat was on my side. I was feeling confident. Even the PSG.LGD Bowl, but now I don't know anything anymore. Okay, they go for Phoenix now. Mars is still potentially in the pool, so PSG.LGD now need to decide if they want to deny pick that one coming out and grab it for themselves here, and that would kind of ruin the flexibility of the Tiny and the Razor. Some people have run the Mars in the mid lane, but I don't imagine that's something that they'd be crazy about with this draft. It'd be wild to see just like 4 flex picks come out and ask to be completely guessing of what the lanes are going to be, lane matchups are going to be. But I think that they probably let Mars through here. You don't have enough burst damage at that point if you end up picking up a Mars, at least not for the late game. Then you're super concerned about not being able to grab the Monkey King inside his Wukong's command. It'll just out-sustain you in team fights and set up around objectives and take those. I would like to see... God, what would I even like to see in the mid lane matchup? Ricky, help me out here. What do you want to see against the Puck in the mid lane?
I thought you were
No, definitely not you. Oh no, God no, that hero awful. Ricky's not Ricky the caster, not much better. But what would you pick in this scenario, Ricky the caster?
See, it's funny that you would have to ask me. That really says a lot about your skill in Dota, Neff. I would say honestly, like there's just a couple like obvious picks. The Ember Spirit obviously already banned, but Void Spirit still available. Not a terrible pick here either. The silence from the Aghanim Scepter is always really valued, helping
Lena,
find the puck. Lena is an option because you do need an egg hitter. Instead, they've gone Io now, which I'm trying to think like if they're thinking of going back to Io Tiny, or if this is just like going to be like still a 4 position Tiny with like a Razor off lane, and then we're going to see like a safe lane carry. They could go back for Gyrocopter, who has just felt like a pretty weak hero in general.
Look at this guy calling picks from like 2013. Yeah, it's going to be Gyro and Io, or Tiny and Io. Tether still stuns, right?
They could actually go for an Alchemist here as well. Like if they want to save it for last, an Alch would be pretty sick out of the like 1 position. They got Marcy, so that makes me oof, dude. This is
it makes you oof.
Is it going to be a support?
That's the fun.
It's the 4 and 5, right? And they're just going Razor Marcy, Io Tiny, Bish Bash Bosh, Jobs are good, and look at those offlaners, those side lanes, looking spicy, dude. I'm down. I like this from PSG.LGD.
I don't like Io Tiny as a core, as like a duo anymore. I think even with that, Tiny has felt pretty weak from the 1 position. And Lifestealer is still in the pool, which is just like the ultimate counter to Tiny. Like you just don't get to play the game.
Yeah, but then you've got a Lifestealer on your team, and that's never fun.
Yeah, that is a solid point. You don't want a Lifestealer on your team.
Especially with a Razor.
Yeah, but Aster would agree with that sentiment, and they go with the Morphling. Even though I feel like this hero is not strong at the moment.
It's
not, very good against
good
Razor. Yeah, so good against Razor.
That's why they take it. Like it's a good lane matchup. You can't actually static link the hero, and it's almost guaranteed to be Razor off lane. So static link is basically useless. You end up having to max the plasma field, and then as the late game goes on, you can just morph into Razor, static link someone, then waveform, to make sure you're always on top of them. And morphling with 100 some odd bonus damage is very strong.
Yep, and then the Razor links someone else, and you link the Razor, and then all of a sudden you got a little daisy chain of death, and it's a lot of fun for the Morphling, that's for sure. He's having a great time.
It's a lot of fun to watch that one. We just see, like zippity zaps all over the screen.
Yeah.
Especially difficult to tell what's going on sometimes, though.
Yeah, sometimes the Morphling static link, like if he morphs back into Morphling form, it stays where it was when he was in Razor form, so it looks a little bit weird. So keep an eye on that one.
So, okay, now look at this. The Darkseer ban out, and they get rid of Viper as well. Okay, so when I see Darkseer, the first things that come to mind are the enemy, or you want to pick up potentially a Medusa or a Luna. But they end up going back for the Bristleback. Okay, this was banned out in the previous game.
So good.
It saw a lot of success in their series against RNG. The thing is, they didn't run this like carry Bristleback like a carry. They ended up going Vanguard, Her Defiance, and then Lotus Orb on it. And then just like let the Razor and the Tinker end up doing damage. So I'm not sure where this is going to go, but they are incredibly flexible, not only with their draft here, but with how they play the heroes here on PSG.LGD. I'm super concerned with Aster's ability to adapt to this.
Okay, I do have a question, though. Is this going to be mid-Tiny?
I can't tell you that.
Or is it
the whole point of this draft is you can just adapt to whatever it is that Aster ends up grabbing last year. That is the beauty of this lineup.
It could be a mid-IO. Like, that is still something that happens occasionally.
It's not.
But, yeah, I think you're right. They could definitely adapt it. Aster need an offlane that shuts down Bristleback. The question is, what one can you even do? Mars is not bad because the Arena Spear always puts Bristle to face you. But maybe you go Enigma, actually. This is a really good Enigma game. This is actually the best Enigma game you're going to get.
If it's mid-IO, I will chug hot sauce, Ricky. I'm very confident in it not being that.
Dude, pick Enigma. I don't know how. I literally don't know any other hero that can carry that can actually help them win the game, because they have to stall this one out and go late, because this Bristleback is going to crush them at 20 minutes with an IO.
By any chance, were you watching TSM Saberlight play Enigma and you became an instant fan?
Timber. Okay. What do you think, Ricky?
Timbersaw is a little bit of a niche pick, but this is definitely a game where it works. It's not really countered by Razor, and should be able to beat the Bristleback lane pretty easily.
We're not going to talk about you're playing into 4 strength heroes.
I mean, that part's not like the biggest deal. It's mostly about shutting down Bristleback, right? The fact that you're playing against like these other strength heroes is nice, but like killing Bristleback or shutting him down early is the most important thing right now.
I'm going to disagree with that. I think this is for the IO, right? Like we've seen Timbersaws previously do this where they just like beeline it for the IO every single fight. And like Bristleback is ridiculous, right? If you give him extra spell amp with the IO and overcharge, which by the way gives spell damage, so your quills are doing more damage as well, the hero just becomes a little bit too hot to handle. So you need something which can kill off his IO. Like diving with your Morphling to do that is an option, but it's pretty difficult. You put him in a risky situation as well, and waveforming into a bristle usually means you're going to get messed up pretty bad. So yeah, I think that's the reason for it, as well as obviously being a great strength hero versus the Bristleback as well. I think this pick is what they needed. Is it enough to make me vote in their favor? I've learned against voting against my own cat, so I'm not going to do that. Wilfred, I'm sorry. I will be going for PSG.LGD for this game number 2. Neff, what about you? Been quietly contemplating. Drop me a knowledge bomb.
I dislike Morphling too much to have faith in his carry. I feel like he's always that hero that needs one more item. And, by the time you get to late game, he's not even that strong. So based on that, I think that I'm going to have to go with PSG.LGD. Their lineup is very flexible, and they've shown to be very dynamic with his Bristleback in the past.
Alrighty, Ricky, very quickly.
Morphling isn't.
I really do like PSG.LGD's draft,
but
I'm going to go Aster.
Oh, thank God.
I'm going Aster. I am. I think they can do it. I think it's possible.
Alrighty, let's get into it then. Game number 2. PSG.LGD just one game away from securing the tiebreakers for the major. It's a crazy situation. LG versus Aster, game number 2 on the way with Ricky and Neff.
Woo! That was my
it's fun.
Cheering noise.
Okay, yeah. It's funny that he says that one game away from securing ties, because no matter how this goes, PSG.LGD are going to be tied, whether it is for placing at the major or potentially coming in second or being relegated out of the division.
It's pretty nuts that like LGD could place either 2nd or 7th based on this game.
Yep. Isn't Dota 2 beautiful? I love this game. I truly do.
It's a good game. That's true.
Yeah.
They finally stick around, get the D ward in the mid lane. They obviously saw they could place his Aura was just standing there as he walked up and placed the wards. So that one's definitely gone. And it is just going to be another. Okay, this one's 2 and 2 on the runes. But Phoenix taking.
He might have a level dive.
He might go down. Bobica having to come in here. Dive. Yeah, he has to level dive. Man, that sucks.
Yep.
And he walked into a Razor, so he's definitely dead anyway.
So we all predicted PSG.LGD, right?
No, I predicted Aster. I stand by it.
You're either very brave or very stupid. Maybe both.
In the new game mode, Dark Moon, if you are the only person to die in a round, there's an achievement that you get, and it says Brave or Stupidity. And I stick with Bravery.
I see. Whatever helps, buddy. I am very worried about you, though. Gave you the option to switch there. PSG.LGD, they're off to... God, Monet's just getting run down now.
Yeah, he has
it's a lot.
He has attribute shift level 1. He's still not level 2. And Jin Q, just like the dispose, it gives him enough time to actually set up some static link damage, which is kind of cool. And bottom lane, they don't really have any ability to pressure quite yet, as he does have 1 point in the reactive armor. He needs to get to the Whirling Death to be able to start actually pressuring out the Bristleback. So once again, lane's going to go the way of LGD, at least these first few levels. We'll see how they, if Aster's able to stabilize them in a little bit.
Yeah, look at the confidence here of Ame. He walks in between the tier 1 and 2 towers. He's taking a lot of damage with this one, though. He's not level 2 himself yet, so no Bristleback to proc Quill Spray, so do extra damage to these heroes.
Coming,
yeah, but he took a lot of damage there. There does have a headdress, so you do have regen, but not great. He got punished for that pretty heavily. This is what you do on melee support offlaners, though. You play with the creep wave, but if the enemies can't stop you, you try to pull up between your tier 1 and 2 tower. That way you're able to deny the entire creep wave. So Ame was trying to get what he could from that instead of just allowing that to happen. but he takes a lot of damage as punishment for it. And that's a big wave coming into the tower, though. This is Bristleback's dream. I wouldn't be surprised if Innocence like walks away, so Ame can eat more of this XP and get closer to like level 3 or 4. Be able to run people down with nasal goo.
We'll get the pull in the lane though, so Bobica will be able to pull the equilibrium back and deny a little bit here. And you're right, he is going to back off, let him try and soak some solo XP under the tower. As why he's going to try and contest the pull there, but. Yeah, overall, lane's going pretty well for Aster, for PSG.LGD, as expected to start things off. Ori mid lane is also getting bullied by the Tiny, and this is one of those matchups that's not great for the puck, right? Like, you eventually outfarm him because of your ability to just farm the small camp with Orb, but in terms of like CSing in the wave, Tiny like has a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, you have to be careful with going to farm with Orb right now as well. Otherwise, Tiny's just going to run at you if you don't have that escape ability. Walk you down with tons of damage. So, it's this is rough for Ori. I mean, 2 games in a row. Oh my god, he just took so much damage in the mid lane.
He's gonna go have to get his bounty rune. He has no choice. Salves himself. Yeah. Orbs over to the bounty rune. Nice heads up play there.
Yeah, but this is like the best he's able to do. Now he's trying to push in the wave to the tower here. Nothing to say, just auto-attacking the creeps. Well, denying a lot of the creeps, rather. Trying to stop Ori from being able to get anything as he comes back into the lane. So every lane not going so well. Networth is still relatively even. We're only like 3 minutes into this. They are getting punished super heavily by PSG.LGD. They're looking on point today.
They're going to try and pressure this Bristleback, but honestly, Wise just giving him like 25 HP regen, and he has a Ring of Health. So he's just regenning like 30 health a second.
Yep. He's putting multiple points into the tether as well, rather than going points into overcharge. I mean, you guys talked about this one. It is incredibly effective with the Bristleback. There's just huge synergy between IO and BB. So your lane that is, supposed to dominate strength heroes, or melee heroes for that matter, the Monkey King and the Timbersaw, is struggling to fight into the Bristleback and the IO. It is impressive to see. So 2 games in a row now. Ahmed is putting the hurt onto XSS in the off lane.
He's going to have to go for, play the level 6 timing on the Timbersaw and just hope to snipe the IO. Because if IO is alive, you're never killing this Bristleback.
Yep. 100%. When his courier ends up going down, Xin Q managed to snipe that one. I don't even no, he didn't even have vision of that. So he gets it with the boots on it as well.
Yeah.
So rough. 5 minutes rolls around, so nighttime. The heroes start to make rotations. Buggy can get a TP up to the top lane, and looks like Faith Beyond trying to run these heroes down underneath the tower. There's 3 heroes move up to the top. Faith Beyond could get punished for this.
Question is, will he get punished for it? You do have a Primal Spring available.
Please punish him.
About a second. Oh, doesn't actually find anything quite yet. Up onto the high ground. Will be able to connect onto the Razor. Continue to slow the Boundless Strike is there. Monet with the waveform on forward, getting the last auto attack. So they do punish Faith Beyond like you were talking about. And XXS will be able to just sit bottom solo now that he is level 5 on the Timbersaw. He's got the 3 points in the reactive armor. So it's like the reverse of last game, right? Where you just leave the Naga Siren. Now Timbersaw just does Timbersaw things, right? He can do whatever he wants. It's going to make space for this Monkey King to rotate around the map now.
Yeah. We could talk about what the Bristleback's doing in his lane as well. I mean, he's only level 4. He's got a decent-sized creep wave here, but he's going for the same thing that we saw him go in the game against R&D. He opens with this Vanguard. Unfortunately, against a Timbersaw, not incredibly useful, as it's all magic damage. Just like right-click trades that he gets off every so often onto Ame. Not super effective, but you're not going to deal with this Chakram whirling death spam once it comes out, once he hits you level 6.
It's technically all pure damage, which doesn't help either way, but you're right, yeah.
So,
well, I mean, like a different build will allow you to trade into XSS and do damage to him. Well, I guess there's no trading into him when he's got 3 points reactive armor.
I just wanted to add here as well. Ame is playing on the highest APM hero in the game, Bristleback. That's going to be very tricky when he's playing with his feet.
You do have a point. The man might be very dexterous, though. I mean, he does Actually,
I know ambidextrous is a thing where you can use both hands. Does that technically count for feet as well?
no, it does not. I don't know what that's called. Nomad, can we look that one up?
I guess like feet. The medical term is like petty, so it's like be like petty dexterous.
Who
I
knows?
don't.
Oh, nothing to say. Misses his toss target in the mid lane.
Sitting up on the puck here, I feel like is pretty ambitious. He did end up just using his illusionary orb, but again, 3 points in it, cooldown only 10 seconds. They don't have a large window to go over Oi. Plus, they'd be diving into the tower here when he's got Dream Coil up. It's something that they're a little bit hesitant to do. So, regardless of having this Marcy and having the IO making rotations right now, they don't manage to connect with anything and set up any kills. Nothing like in the last game where they just, went all in on that mid-tier 1 tower. So this game not looking to be so cut and dry as the previous one.
Bottom lane looks like they might try and punish XXS here. Never mind, they just TP in on line. He's got 6 Quill Spray charges because of the amount of damage he was dishing out there, and just like that, Bristleback pretty much back to full HP thanks to the IO. Mid lane though, they are committing pretty heavily here. They want to try and
I don't know
nothing to say, but it's just the supports. DD Phoenix though, I mean, it's a decent chunk of damage.
I mean, it's whatever. There's not a ton interesting happening right now. Monet is going to be hard to go on and kill. Zinq trying to potentially find something here. Got rebound and dispose, but again, with 3 points in the attribute shift, it is very unlikely that you find the kill off onto this Morphling. So with that happening up here in the top and the bottom lane just being 2 beefy boys brawling it out, it's not going to be much. I mean, we'll see action, but we won't see any results, unfortunately. Yeah, there's your Hooded Defiant as well, completed by the Timber Saw. So tons of HP regen on this guy.
Ooh, that is such a good item, the Tumblr toy.
I mean, I don't think this helps the case of not much action happening right now. I want to see kills, okay?
Dude, getting Tumblr toy on Pudge is actually so much fun.
He's not in this game.
I know. Just you see Ori and you just wish he was gonna be playing Pudge, but he's not.
Fair enough. Boboka following. I mean, he tried to. Ooh, unlucky. Tried to snipe those 2 big creeps with the balance strike. Didn't end up grabbing either though.
He's got an early urn queuing up that Spirit Vessel. Top lane, yeah, they find Phoenix, doesn't get the dive out, and that will be the sidekick damage there with Zinq. Quite a bit to take down the Phoenix.
Yup. They were waiting on this for a while. I mean, Faith Beyond popped that Eye of the Storm preemptively, chasing him underneath the tower. Phoenix definitely dies. Nobody else of this team really does. Everyone having an escape move just being too difficult to get their hands on. Phoenix being the easiest is kind of interesting. Buys the tome. He's not quite level 6 off of this one. So they're still not looking to take a fight. Nothing to say is coming with an Invis rune. If you could get Monet here, that would be big. Be very big.
It would.
Yeah.
They have a sentry there though, and they're gonna know, so they'll just back on out.
Yeah, but I don't think he realizes that they see him.
Zinq gets that disposed real quick. I'm kind of surprised. He could have just rebounded off the Tiny right into a quick dispose, but they don't go for it now. Zinq on the side, gonna be found here, and that'll be an easy pickup. Just a moment here for the supports plus Ori.
Yeah.
They were definitely hoping to get the Tiny, but he had already TP'd out, so.
This is so slow compared to what we saw in the previous game, man. I'm,
Bristle is just taking the enemy ancient stack.
Yeah. If he can't kill any of the heroes, he can kill their creeps. So, damage their economy. I like the logic that Ame's going for here. Very good. Look, he even manages to find all the rest of the neutral items for his team. As a possessed mask. Beautiful. You love to see it. He's going for, instead of what we saw in the previous series of RNG against PSG.LGD, where he went Hunter Defiance and Lotus Orb out of his Vanguard, he's going straight in for the Aghanim Scepter. And you do need this to be able to run heroes down. I feel like, significantly buffs the damage off onto people, allows you to chase. It is such a big pickup. It's still going to come out relatively slow, though.
Yeah, you're right. So Monet's actually queued up a Lincoln's as his first item this game. Be able to maybe dodge out the Dispose or the Static Link potentially. I guess that's like the most... those are the things he's worried mostly about.
I'm not a big fan of Morphlings going for Lincoln's here first. I feel like it slows down your farming way too much.
Would you like to see like a Yasha instead?
I don't know. I feel like you just die at the beginning of fights if you don't have that like Disposal, grab you followed by a Toss Avalanche combination. So you kind of need it. But again, I just don't like the Morphling.
And then he's got his Blink Dagger reveal here. He is going to find the Phoenix. He does have Egg available. He's going to drop with the Boundless Strike plus the Coil. But, oh yeah, Marcy will be able to just destroy that A quickly. And with the rotation in from Ame's Bristleback, you should clean up big. They even bring Faith Beyond here. Bobica will be the next to join them. But Timber Chain up onto the high ground. I think XXS is out. 5 heroes from PSG.LGD in the bottom lane. They end up getting a 2-for-1.
Attempting to go on the Timber Saw there, both the Bristleback and the Razor. Not an easy target to get, though. Again, he just ends up Timber Chaining away, but fight does end up going their way. Managed to find 2 for that Marcy. But yeah, like you mentioned, you end up popping the Supernova regardless of those Fire Spirits being on you. Unleash, and they'll clean that Supernova up pretty quickly. Nice attempt to punish there by XSS. He was like grouping up on that egg and then throws out the AoE abilities, but
Io coming in. A lot of heals and saves there. Ooh. They almost managed to find Bobica there, and Boundless Strike does come out. The nice, beautiful toss back plus the Dispose will clean up that Monkey King. The question is, can they get more of the relocate in from Y? He's managed to find them, but Razor now trying to run away from Monet as he's done a lot of damage here on this Morphling. Relocate will send the Io back, but Dispose catches the Morphling, waveform up onto the high ground. He's going to turn himself back into the Razor, try and slow this one down as he is morphed almost completely. Strength, nothing to say though. He's caught by the Timber Saw. The toss will be able to finish him off though, and now XSS, he needs to bail. They've got way too much momentum here on the side of LGD, and they are looking to keep it alive. Zavala, the Blink, toss back. It's found the Phoenix. One quick swipe of the tree. Be a triple kill for the Tiny.
Ame keeping his eyes on the prize the whole time, just chasing down this Morphling. Man isn't able to contribute anything in that last team fight. Ends up doing so much damage to everybody as well. Once he gets the Aghanim Scepter, this becomes even worse. So finally we see a little bit of action happening. We've got to go to XSS as well. They don't toss him back onto anybody. I think he's trying to get the Dispose.
They don't. They do have Coil, but they would need to hit a multi-hero Coil. They do. They manage to catch Tiny on the side, and he snaps it, and there's going to be the Nova. Silence up the Marcy. No chance to pop that Unleash, and they're going to try and stay on top of the Tiny, the Blink in one. Can they cancel? They can with the Sunray, and the Chakram there as well. So they will bring him down, potentially down to 100 HP, but he's going to be kept alive by Y. The Fire Spirit's not enough. So with all of that committed, you only get the Marcy again.
Yeah, they definitely overstayed their welcome there, though. Hung around for way too long. And even further pushing your luck, thinking you'd be able to get on top of that Phoenix egg and blow it up with your Unleash. A bold move there by Zinkyo.
Dude, it is 16 minutes in the game, and Ori still does not have his Witchblade.
I mean, he doesn't have much. In 2 games in a row, he struggled quite a bit. This game ends up just getting like roasted down. Can't manage to find any kills either. Everyone is just too tanky. This is the issue that you have when you're playing Pucking against all these strength heroes. Normally you do tons of damage, you make a couple of rotations, you're in it, but 5.6k net worth here at 16 minutes of the game is just not great.
XXS in a lot of trouble. The relocate comes in. Oh, it breaks the tree on the dive! No way! XXS goes down, and now they're chasing for the Phoenix. They got him. Ori will survive. But that is a little unfortunate there for the Timber Saw.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
And that's the brand new Aghanim's reveal here from the Bristleback. This is when things get scary. This is why I was a little skeptical of the Timber Saw, man. Like, into the IO, you don't have the burst damage to actually kill these heroes. And, like, yes, they're all strength heroes, but so what, almost? Like, I don't know. This hero is already starting to fall off, and it's only 16 minutes into the game. They're going to turn their attention to Roche.
Yeah, hasn't been able to get up top of this IO like you were talking about either. It's just been struggling to get past everybody else. And now that you're running like through everybody as a Bristleback has his egg and himself and just be tearing through your team, you can't afford to do it
XXS is
anymore.
in, and he's in a lot of trouble. Dispose, he's just dead. Surrounded by 4. Nobody there to back him up.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Buyback not available.
he ended up losing Morphling as well. Toss Avalanche combination ends up coming out from the Tiny, and he's just dead as well.
And that's an Aegis 7K gold lead. The game just suddenly falling to pieces for the side of Aster. And
It's about to get worse.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, it is just your support, but it is just getting a little bit uncontrollable. The
Yeah, it's about
Avalanche
to get
toss.
worse.
They found Ori this time.
Oh my god. Yep.
Okay.
This is
Aster have officially crumbled.
Yep, this is one of the reasons why Morphling is not a popular pick against Mr. Tiny. Tiny has a 75% win rate against Morphling so far in the DPC.
So just 2 minutes ago, this game was like about a 4K gold lead, and it is now 6,000 gold extra on top of that. So in 2 minutes, they've accelerated their gold lead by 6K.
That's 10, if my math is correct.
No, 10 now. They had a 4K gold advantage. It is now
And
10.
they added 6, and
Yeah,
now
yeah.
that makes it 10.
Yeah.
I was trying to do numbers. I was hoping you'd be proud of me.
It's all right. I forgive you.
All right, there's absolutely no way for them to defend this tower either. It doesn't look like they're making a movement up here to defend it. In fact, I mean, how do you fight to this Bristleback with the Aegis? You just
Don't. He just does what he wants now. You don't like. This is the thing. You have no hero that deals with Bristleback. Like, you're trying to get a vessel on this 4-position monkey who will eventually. Your Morphling doesn't beat him. Your Timbersaw doesn't even come close to doing enough damage to deal with him. You have a Puck who just can maybe snipe supports. Like,
And where's your burst damage to deal with it? You
have no Silver Edge for a long
Just
time.
now, you complete your first item on the Morphling. It is a Lincoln Sphere. Yes, this will help keep you alive. It'll stop the Mars to be able to dispose you, but how are you going to win a team fight with this item? You need damage. This thing gives you 16 all stats. That is the damage that it gives you. There's just no way for them to fight into them. Again, I fear it gets worse. PSG.LGD is going to control the entire map. We had decent vision of you like trying to move into your jungle with the observer wards they placed, and now they're making a movement to take over control of your triangle.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the BKB on Faith Beyond. He hasn't had to use it yet. You've got the BKB almost done on the Bristleback as well. And Tiny's working on his.
That's
He's
fun.
only a recipe away, 1450 gold. So you're going to have triple BKB before the 25-minute mark in mid lane. They managed to find the Timbersaw, the toss back to even relocate really deep on the backside. It is going to get scouted here as Monet is ready to go, but XXS getting Timber Chain away fast enough is the question. Bristleback is there, beats him down. They've caught the IO, but you lost your Timbersaw once again.
I mean, technically, I don't think they caught the IO there. I think the IO.
Avalanche toss, or he's gone. No chance in hell.
Jesus.
BKB popped on the Razor, and Bristleback, he's looking to go a little bit deeper. Bobica up on the high ground, does have a Vessel charge available. They've got the Nova, but no Puck to silence up the Marty. Oh, he's got to run away now.
Yeah. So they managed to get away, but with that, they're just going to grab this tier 2. Fortify the stall. All right, that'll clear out the catapult. I don't think Ahmed cares about the damage coming out from this Morphling, though. Again, right back at it again. Going to clean up this tier 2 tower. The moment you leave your base, they'll see you as well. Really like this ward that they placed. Vision or nearby the hard camp here. This one is super cool.
Yeah.
It catches the Monkey King just now, so they'll see that he's moving in the jungle, and they'll just rotate down to the bottom. Now they know that the majority of the Dire team is going there.
Like, Monet's got the Silver Edge queued up, right? You know, that's going to be your break technically for the Bristleback, but I don't think they really care all that much.
No, not with the IO behind him. He'll be able to top him up. Again, they just don't have the burst damage to be able to kill this guy. Not in the short duration of the break.
Bottom lane, Bobica playing hard to get on the Monkey King, but Ame's just running around the jungle trying to find someone, and they're going to find the Phoenix, Avalanche, the Toss. Just one auto attack is enough, and now Monet needs to be a little bit careful. They actually snapped the coil there on the Tiny, but he seems more than healthy still, and the disposed back Timbersaw just gets destroyed. Chasing for more Monet, Avalanche, can't find nothing to say, does have a toss, trying to just chain stun down this Morphling, but he is so slow. An Avalanche toss of his own back the other way, but no waveform for several seconds, and they're just gonna dive him all the way back to the tier 4s. That is all you had. There's no coil. There's nothing left. They hardly commit anything on the side of PSG.LGD here.
The only reason your tier 2 is even still alive is because the creep wave is pushing it at the moment. That's the only thing stopping them from ending the game at the moment.
Oh, they're going to end the game mid?
Yeah, they're just running down this Phoenix. I don't see how they defend from this one. Dream Twirl's back up on cooldown another 20 seconds. Morphling dead for another 20. But again, all he has is this Lincoln Sphere. There's no way for them to take a fight in a realistic way where they can actually burst down this Bristleback. Simply does not exist. Razor now has his Refresher Orb. This only gets worse as PSG.LGD find more items. The entire map is theirs.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcy almost has a BKB.
Yep. Basher now completed for the Bristleback as well. And when you get Kaya Sanj on your Timbersaw, this is not going to be your game-winning item, but they feel like they need to leave the base right now. Nice. They can't afford to lose anything else. They can't afford to be locked in while they take another Roshan or...
They're going to settle for Jin-Q mid here, potentially. They are mid as 5. I mean, you've got to get something on the smoke, but the scan comes through, and Onyx, you get the first hit match! No! Oh my god! You know, sometimes you just get bashed and two-shotted by a hedgehog with 600 damage.
I was saying at the start, my god, I love this game, but it hurts sometimes.
It just goes straight for tier 4s. No buyback on your Timbersaw or your Phoenix, and that might just be it, man. That's it. 2 25-minute games.
PSG.LGD, they brought the fire today. They were not joking around, and we said it was going to be a decider, Nomad, between two very disparate placements here, but PSG.LGD, do they not look like the team that we saw in the first 2 seasons of the DPC?
Yeah, be careful who you bully in high school because they may grow up into this. It's a rough start for PSG.LGD, but they do deliver. And today, they deliver in style as they absolutely waste Team Aster. Arme making good on his threats from last season and then some as they take them down in 2 24-minute games. One of the fastest series we've had here at the China DPC. I mean, this is the LGD we know and love. They're back on fire on all cylinders. You know, that threat of relegation. I feel like someone just came into the room one day and said, oh, guys, you realize we're close to relegation? And they go like, all right, we'll beat Aster, you know, like it definitely feels like that's the level this team is on right now where they were cruising for a bit, but, you know, when you light that flame under them, the old LGD comes out and we get a very violent reminder of exactly how strong this team can really be. But man, Aster, they just didn't look put together today. But I think the first thing to mention here, actually, the biggest result from this, there he is, the goated analyst, really, Mr. Wilfred there with the 100% prediction rate so far.
He's built different, like a cat.
He really is. He really is. Never in doubt. The China DPC professional predictor coming in clutch, earning his money, and also. Shout out to RNG because they are now officially the winners of the China DPC Tour number 3. So congratulations to them. I mean, that's pretty impressive for this team as well. You know, just very quickly before we get back to this series, RNG, they've been on a long journey trying to find their soulmate, their soul carry, as they did ditch God King. They went for Ghost, which seemed like a very controversial move, but it worked out for them as they are now the winners of the China DPC, and we will be seeing them at the major. So huge congratulations to them for taking that top spot, of course.
It is, definitely a glow up after the rocky start that we saw in season 1 and a little bit in season 2, but hard earned. Didn't end up beating PSG.LGD in their match, but ends up beating them in the season. And isn't that good enough? I think I'll take that, honestly. I will take that.
If I'm RNG, I take that for sure. That's a lot of DPC points.
Yes, it is. It is. It's definitely a lot of DPC points, and going to bring them very, very close to qualifying, and they can definitely do that if they put in a good performance in Arlington. And this is how the board looks right now, guys. There's a lot of teams at 4 and 3 right now. Could someone explain this to me?
Listen, it's a 4-way tie. If you can, I'm not sure if you see that, but there's 4 teams.
You're either second or you're fifth, Nomad. Okay, that's just how it works around here.
Yep, you're joint second with 3 other teams, or you're fifth, and you do not get to go to the major. So, guys, we will be having a hell of a tiebreaker day, as we have the 4-team tiebreaker here in China. It's going to be between Aster, Ares, Team Aster, PSG.LGD, and Extreme Gaming, as these 4 Goliaths battle it out to get that major spot. It can never be easy, and I'm
but that's not it.
It's not. But that's not it.
That is not it.
No, you're right, because look at that. We got 2 teams at 3 and 4 down in the relegation slot as well. So eHome and Vici will be battling out for relegation as well. I mean, that's a tough one. That'll be a best of 3, by the way. The 4-way tiebreak will be best of 1 GSL format, and the tiebreak for relegation will be just 1 best of 3 series, where we'll get to figure it out. And I know for 3 teams, I think for 4 teams as well, we have the potential to go around twice. Is that correct, Neff? Do you remember?
If everyone won once, yeah.
Then we go around again.
Yes.
So,
and then it becomes what is it? Time score at that point. Whatever teams end up finishing their matches the fastest in total, I believe, which actually ended up happening once in Division 2 between Aster Ares and was it? I just remember that Aster Ares was robbed.
Yeah, Aster Ares was part of it. I don't remember what team ended up winning because of it, but yeah.
So,
but we do have the technology to check, believe it or not.
Well, I think the important thing is to say that on Sunday, the 17th of July, we will be back with those tiebreaker matches. So join us for that one, as we can get back into the series we were watching and this absolute destruction. But I mean, what is there to say about this series, honestly, guys? Like, this was just a complete outclassing for PSG.LGD.
Timbersaw was a bait. I don't think this hero did what they wanted it to do. Like, it didn't shut down the bristleback lane at all. And I think, like I said, that's your biggest deal this game. You have to be able to shut down the bristleback lane if you want to be able to like make it to like mid-late game, and they just never even got a chance. So again, it's just LGD crushing the lanes and just creating this like unstoppable momentum, this unstoppable force in these like post lane breakdowns, and it's just kill after kill, man. They just make their enemies bleed.
Yeah. It is, again, a huge glow up to see them kind of struggle at the beginning of the season and then come back in these last 2 series and, beat the first place team and then completely beat down Aster in these 2 incredibly quick matches. And they came in with a very clear plan. Again, they valued Dawnbreaker quite a bit in the first game based on the picks and bans. Aster ended up banning out the Dawnbreaker in the second one, but, they... Again, back to the PSG.LGD, we've seen with so many strategies. They run this bristleback, they bait into the Timbersaw exactly like you're talking about. Things 100% end up going their way. And they are so clean post-laning phase in both these games. As soon as they start making rotations together, they just seem to outclass every other team.
I have to say, I feel like this Timbersaw's item build was really suspect. Like, I didn't like it at all. He went for the Hood of Defiance into Kaya and Sanj. So, like, where is your physical resist in this build, right? Like, you need a Vanguard, I would say. And you need to get yourself like I don't know, like a Halberd or something, I mean, even Halberd's not that great versus Bristol, but like, it will become better as the game goes on against him. But just like this Hood, I just didn't really get. Like, I guess you don't want to be bursted by Tiny, but at the same time, there's so much damage coming through from the Marcy and the Bristle. I don't know, maybe it's a damned you do, damned if you don't situation, but yeah. They just have too much physical damage for you to just kind of go Hood and just be like, yeah, okay, I can get my Kyra and Sanj. And like, Kyra and Sanj is luxury. That's in a kind of game if you've got a free Timber game. And this was not it.
There was multiple times actually early on, like his first part of, like 2 of his first 3 deaths were actually a result of the Razor getting on top of him, having the Eye of the Storm active. And when that's the case, you don't have like reactive armor stacks already in place. You just get melted. Like, you actually are not gaining armor at all from this passive anymore. And yeah, I mean, a casual plate mail would have gone super far this game, eventually turned into Lotus Orb or something to help get rid of the stacks off Nasal Goo. Like, there's a lot of things you could have done. Yeah, like, it's a really good Lotus game. Like it is a really good Lotus game. So I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't just pick up like an early plate mail or something and then try to go for damage maybe. But yeah, this was just like Aster just seemed a little bit split here on what to do.
And again, 1-5 on XXS. Like the LGD absolutely isolated XXS and said, right, he is the cause of Aster's success. You know, he is the overperformer. He's the guy who's pulling out ridiculous stats every single game. We need to take him down. And the focus they put on him was something which Aster did not seem ready for. As I mentioned before, this guy previously to this series was the highest KDA player in the China DPC, and he was the lowest death player in the China DPC as an offlaner. And after this series, I don't think he is. He had 2 absolutely awful games where he was put in the bin. 1-4 and 1-5, I think, were his KDAs out of both of these games. So that's got a sting for him, you know, having that as his final series, at least until the tiebreakers. Yeah, he'll be hungry for revenge. I'll tell you that much. Aster on a team which will just let this be water under the bridge, right?
No, they're going to want to bounce back from this one, and I imagine they'll do it in style. At least I hope they will. I immediately started thinking about asking PSG.LGD questions about the major, but I'm getting ahead of myself right now because again, you got to run this one back. You got to make it happen a second time. And PSG.LGD, I feel like they showed a lot of their cards in this match. They ran some things that they may have been holding back a little bit until now. These seem to be their most practiced strategies with the bristleback and the Dawnbreaker and whatnot. So Aster, a little bit of time to study may go a long way. Unfortunately, they don't have that long, because these matches are happening on Sunday.
Right? Yeah. You got a day to prepare, you know. But I think for these teams, that's probably enough times. But then again, when you're planning for 3 teams individually, that might be a little bit of a daunting task. We'll see what they can pull out here. So we are now ready to move into our interview, and we got a very special one here. We've got Mr. Zhao8 here to talk to us about this series and about LGD's journey through the DPC. So firstly, Mr. Zhao8, how are you doing? And are you looking forward to these crazy tiebreakers we got coming up on Sunday?
首先恭喜你拿下比赛的胜利，小白想问一下你现在感觉怎么样？然后对未来可能出现就是过2天会出现的确定会出现的这些比较疯狂的加赛，你是怎么看的？
就今天能赢那个 Aster 是准备的比较好吧，然后希望能保持这个状态，就加赛争取出线去 Major。
I think the reason we got the victory today is because we had a great preparation, and I hope the team can maintain this level of competition, and we are able to get qualified into the major.
Absolutely. It did feel like you had Aster's number today. Is there a good, strong relationship between LGD and Aster, and does it feel good to beat them?
恭喜你拿下比赛胜利，想问一下，老干爹跟 Aster 之间有没有一些渊源？就是赢了他们之后，感觉会不会特别的给劲？
渊源就还好吧，因为就不想输给他们吧，大家都不想输给他们，所以就很认真很积极。
We don't have special relationship, but I think either team want to lose to the other one, so none of us want to get defeated. That's why we put hard work into the match.
It showed. So again, talking about those tiebreakers coming up, do you feel like you've got enough time to prepare for them? And will you be preparing for each team individually, or are you just taking it all in one go?
然后问一下加赛的问题，就是作为教练的话，有没有时间去给每个队做准备，还是说会整体上去准备一下自己的战术？
都会有吧，也会针对每个队伍的 BP， 然后也会去就是调整自己战术，面对每个队可能会有不一样的风格。
Yeah, I think I will do both. We will have a different strategy against the different teams during draft. Also, we will adjust our style according to each different enemies.
Of course. All right, I'm going to open up the floor to my analyst. Neff, would you like to ask some questions, Mr. Zhao8?
Yes, I might be getting ahead of myself a little bit with this one, but going into the major, assuming that you qualify, what team are you most excited to play against, having the opportunity for interregional play interregional play again. Sorry.
可能这个问题有点超前，但是想问一下，如果进入了 Major 的话，有什么特别想要去打的国外的对手吗？
就希望，因为今年我们还没有出国参加过比赛嘛，就希望能去验证一下自己的实力，然后跟所有就不管哪个地区的强队就碰一碰，交手一下，然后看一下我们整体这个队伍实力到底在一个什么位置。
Since this is our this could be our first offline international tournament, we haven't played any other inter-region teams this year. So I wish to test the water. I wish to play the strong teams from each region, so it can really tell what level we are right now. That's what I'm looking for.
Right, Ricky, how about you?
Sure. So I was kind of curious. We were noticing a lot of focus placed on your safe lane and Aster's off lane. Did you guys plan to shut down XXS so much, or was that just kind of something that ended up working out that way?
今天的比赛里看到，就是老干爹特别保护自己的优势路，然后把叉哥那条路打得非常难受。就是这个是赛前做好的准备吗？还是说只是当场局势不同的调整？
就是根据当场局势和我们这边英雄阵容的一些小调整吧。
Yeah, it's according to the draft. Also, it's based on our lineup that it just happened.
Yeah. I do have one other question, though. The chair behind you looks incredibly comfy. So which player from your team spends the most time rocking around in that chair?
想问一下，你身后那个吊椅看起来很舒服，就是你们队里哪个选手最喜欢在上面待着？
就因为我们基地很多这种沙发呀、躺椅和懒人沙发就一般，比如说吃完饭以后，就大概有3个躺椅啊、沙发都会一边睡一个，就看谁先睡上去或者躺上去。就吃完饭以后，大家就是一个很放松的状态。
So we have chairs and sofas like these. I think 2 or 3 of these in our boot camp. So it depends on whoever finished their meal first, they get the spot to lay on the chair on the sofa.
It's a race. I love it. Thank you.
All right. So I think the final question from me then is, as a coach, who is the easiest to coach, and is there a problem charge? Is there someone who's more stubborn than the rest?
想问一下，作为教练的话，队里哪个选手比较好说话，然后哪个选手可能会固执一点，要跟他去多聊一聊？
我觉得可能队长就是 Y 的话比较好说话，因为就跟他的一些想法都是一些比较大局上面，然后其他的选手都是一些就比较有个性的选手，就你要通过一些有各个方面，你要通过一些他愿意接受的方式来跟他交流沟通，就基本上都是，但是大家都是想赢嘛，但每个人的性格都不一样。
Yeah, I think for me it's most easy to talk to the captain. Why? Because we share some general ideas. We have the same picture for the general game, and rest of the players they are very individual. They have different individual personality, and you wanted to choose a way to fit them, to communicate, to have a good communication with them. But I think we share the common goal is to win. So it's in general it's easy to talk to them, but I just focus on different stuff.
Yeah, of course, the diplomatic answer. I do actually have one more question, and this is a spicy one. Who do you think is going to get relegated on Sunday?
想问一下你一个比较严肃的问题，你觉得谁周日会被降级？
会被降级？我觉得那个清茶可能会被降级吧，因为看起来我们其他3支队伍会实力更强一点嘛，然后经验上面也是，可能准备也会做得更好一点。
I think it will be Aries because rest 3 of us are more experienced and probably can have better preparation going into that tiebreaker.
All right, heat on for Aries. Thank you very much for coming to talk to us, Xiao, and best of luck on Sunday with those tiebreakers. 谢谢。
感谢你接受我们的采访，希望你加载好运。
谢谢。
Thank you.
Yeah, I must say, I think the problem child is definitely Ame, but he was sitting right behind him, so he couldn't say it. I'm just putting that out there, guys. I'm just putting that out there.
He was on his phone. He wasn't even paying attention. I'm sure you would have gotten away with it.
But no, I mean, again, always love talking to Xiao. He gives such great insights and such a good idea on how the team works. And the hard work is back on. The team are grinding it out. When it came down to it, they were like, okay, we need to qualify for the major now. Let's put our thinking hats on. And it seems like they came to this series with just a massive over-preparedness to completely wipe the floor with Aries. And
professionals.
They've got to be scared. Sorry, with Aster, yeah. They got to be scared coming into this relegation. Do you agree? Do you think Aster Aries is the team which is going to get eliminated? Not go to the major.
Eliminated, you're getting ahead of ourselves. It's the other series where someone's going to be eliminated but I don't know. I think it's too up in the air. The season was way too close to begin with. I do like Xiaowe's logic there, though, of them not having enough experience and not being able to prepare on such short notice. I think that does kind of benefit the newer teams, the 1 week prep time for each match. But when it really comes down to it, I think they have less resources to work with than some of these other teams with like bigger org backing. And unfortunately, they're the academy team. They're the little brother. You can have our analyst or our stats guys when we're done with them situation for Aster Aries.
Ricky, what do you think?
I agree. I think that was a pretty rational assessment of what's likely to happen on Sunday, but we'll find out.
You said that was rational? Thank you.
No. What Zhao 8 said, not what you said.
Oh, okay, not me. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Don't get ahead of yourself, Neff. It's fine. I think he's right. I think Aster is definitely not the most likely candidate to advance to the major.
So you guys aren't worried about Extreme and the fact that they've lost their last two series?
I mean, I think they're still very good. Is the thing. I think they're still probably one of the favorites to continue, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be a big deal breaker for them.
Yeah, I mean, they were tricky series, of course. Their last two games were against Aster and RNG, so not exactly the easiest series to try and take here. Meanwhile, Aries, they've been on a hot streak, but their last games were Vici, eHome, and Dandelions, so kind of easy to see how they've done so well recently. But of course, they did beat Extreme earlier on. That was their first big upset, so we know it can happen. Is it going to happen when a major slot is on the line? That is a question we're going to keep asking ourselves all the way up until Sunday. And guys, don't forget to join us on Sunday for that tiebreaker extravaganza, because we are going to have a ton of exciting games coming up. That four-way tiebreaker between Aster Aries, Team Aster, Extreme Gaming, and PSG.LGD will be taking place, as well as the relegation best of 3 between eHome and Vici Gaming. One of those teams will be dropping down to Division 2. So much on the line. Make sure you guys join us for that series. But from today, we are all done. So I'm going to ask my lovely panelists one more time, guys. What is your take home from today? What have you learned throughout today's adventures, starting with you, Neff?
Never bet against PSG.LGD or Nomad's cat. I have learned my lesson.
Yeah. Very, very important. What about you, Ricky?
Nomad will eventually have his cat replacing Neff on the panel. That's what I learned.
And me, probably.
You don't sound sad.
Was I supposed
Can you blame him?
I mean, the cat's adorable. No one can compete with the thing. Nah, in all honesty, PSG.LGD look like they're pretty much back in their full form. I would say, they've convinced me that they're back, ready to play, and they look super good, man. I think that they're definitely the favorite going into Sunday.
Yeah, a slow start, but they've been ramping up and a terrifyingly fast acceleration rate. I am worried. I think LGD are looking very much on form. Who will be knocked out? We just don't know yet, but join us on Sunday to find out. We will be saying goodbye today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Adios.
成为英雄之前，你不曾拥有姓名。通向终点的路很长， 但谁也无法预知结局。有人前倾暗影，谋而后动；有人拼尽全力，克敌机先。没有对与错，只有速度是唯一的答案。奔跑吧，在到达终点之前。